Welcome back to my channel. This shows you are serious-minded about success. If you are serious-minded about success, resist every urge to procrastinate. Let me ask you something, and I want you to sit with this question for a moment. How many times have you had a brilliant idea, a clear vision, a plan that could have changed your life, and done absolutely nothing with it? How many times have you told yourself, I will start tomorrow, I will begin on Monday, I will get to it when I feel ready, and that tomorrow never came, that Monday never arrived, that readiness never showed up? Because here is the truth that nobody wants to hear. You were not waiting to feel ready. You were running from responsibility. You were hiding behind the comfortable lie called procrastination. Today, we are going to talk about something that is silently destroying the dreams of millions of people across the world. Not poverty, not lack of education, not bad luck, not the economy. The single greatest enemy of your potential is the habit of putting things off. Procrastination is not a personality trait. It is not something you were born with. It is a choice. And every single day that you make that choice, you are choosing failure over success, mediocrity over greatness, and a life of regret over a life of fulfillment. So if you are serious, and I mean genuinely, deeply, uncomfortably serious, about becoming who you were created to be, then you must make a decision today, not tomorrow, not after this video ends, right now. The decision to resist every single urge to procrastinate. Let us start by understanding what procrastination actually is, because most people misunderstand it completely. People think procrastination means you are lazy. They think it means you do not care. They think it means you are undisciplined or unorganized or irresponsible. But research in psychology has consistently shown that procrastination is not a time management problem. It is an emotional regulation problem. When you procrastinate, you are not choosing not to work. You are choosing to avoid the discomfort that comes with working. You are avoiding fear, avoiding judgment, avoiding the possibility of failure, avoiding the weight of responsibility. You are choosing short-term emotional comfort over long-term meaningful results. And here is why that is so dangerous. Because the relief you feel when you postpone a difficult task is real. It is genuine. Your brain registers it as a reward. And so your brain learns. Every time you avoid the discomfort of starting, you get a little dose of comfort. And over time, this pattern becomes hardwired. Avoidance becomes your default setting. And before you know it, you have spent years, maybe decades, living in the gap between who you are and who you were meant to be. That gap is not filled with bad luck. It is filled with all the things you kept putting off. Now let me talk to you about something even deeper, because I don't just want to explain procrastination to you. I want to shake something loose inside you. I want you to feel the true cost of what you have been doing. Every time you had a business idea and did nothing with it, someone else with less talent and fewer resources acted on a similar idea and built an empire. Every time you said you would start the fitness journey next week, your health declined a little more, and the mountain you will eventually need to climb got a little higher. Every time you delayed having that important conversation, that relationship drifted a little further from where it could have been. Every time you postponed learning that new skill, that language, that instrument, that craft, someone else was putting in the hours, getting better, building the life you keep saying you want. Procrastination is not a harmless habit. It is a thief. It steals your time, your energy, your opportunities, your health, your relationships, and ultimately your identity. Because when you spend years avoiding what matters, you begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't follow through. And that self-image becomes a cage. You start believing the lie that you are not the kind of person who gets things done. And that lie becomes a prophecy you fulfill every single day. But here is the good news, because there is always good news for the person who is willing to face the truth. The same brain that learned to procrastinate can be retrained. The same emotional patterns that learn to seek comfort in avoidance can be rewired to find satisfaction in action. You are not stuck. You are just stuck in a pattern. And patterns can be broken. Let me tell you about the psychology of action, because understanding this will change how you approach every difficult task you face. There is a phenomenon that researchers call the activation energy problem. Just like in chemistry, where a reaction requires a certain amount of energy to get started before it can sustain itself, human action requires an initial burst of energy to overcome inertia. The reason most people procrastinate is not that they lack motivation throughout the task. It is that they cannot generate enough energy to begin. Once they start, the motivation often comes, but the starting feels impossible. And here is what the science tells us. The anticipation of a task is almost always worse than the task itself. The dread you feel before beginning is not an accurate representation of how difficult or unpleasant the task will actually be. Your brain is catastrophizing. It is exaggerating the discomfort to protect you from perceived risk. And so the most powerful thing you can do in any moment of procrastination is simply to begin. Not to plan to begin. Not to think about beginning. Not to prepare to begin. To begin. Right now. In this moment. The 2-minute rule is one of the most powerful tools ever created for people who struggle with procrastination. The rule is simple. If a task will take less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Do not add it to a list. Do not schedule it. Do it now. This trains your brain to default to action rather than avoidance. And over time, that default setting changes your entire relationship with productivity. But beyond 2-minute tasks, there is a deeper principle at work. And it is this: the gap between intention and action must be eliminated. Most people live in that gap. They intend to exercise. They intend to study. They intend to build, to create, to connect, to grow. But intention without action is just imagination. And a life built on imagination rather than execution is a life of beautiful dreams and empty hands. The serious-minded person understands something that the procrastinator does not. They understand that motivation is not a prerequisite for action. It is a result of action. You do not wait to feel motivated before you start. You start, and motivation appears. You do not wait to feel inspired before you create. You create, and inspiration follows. You do not wait to feel confident before you make your move. You make your move, and confidence builds with every step you take. This is a fundamental reversal of how most people think about getting things done. Most people say, "When I feel like it, I will do it." The successful person says, "When I do it, I will feel like it." That single shift in thinking is the difference between a life of consistent achievement and a life of perpetual delay. Now, I want to talk about the environment of procrastination, because this is something that is almost never discussed. Procrastination does not happen in a vacuum. It happens in a context. It happens when your environment makes avoidance easier than action. It happens when your phone is within reach and your goal is not. It happens when you are surrounded by people who normalize delay and celebrate comfort. It happens when your workspace is cluttered, your schedule is vague, and your commitments are invisible. If you are serious about resisting procrastination, you must engineer your environment for action. This means removing friction from the things you want to do and adding friction to the things that distract you. It means placing your running shoes next to your bed. It means keeping your notebook open on your desk. It means silencing notifications and closing unnecessary tabs. It means scheduling your most important work at the time of day when your energy is highest, not whenever you happen to feel like it. Your environment is either working for you or against you. There is no neutral ground. And let us talk about social environment, because this matters enormously. The people around you either reinforce your tendency to procrastinate or challenge you to rise above it. If everyone in your circle is comfortable with mediocrity, comfortable with delay, comfortable with talking about doing without ever actually doing, then their energy will pull at you constantly. You will find it harder and harder to justify taking action when the people around you are celebrating inaction. Find people who move. Find people who build. Find people who get up early, who stay late, who push through discomfort, who do the things they said they would do. That energy is contagious. Use it. Now let us get practical, because talk without application is just more procrastination with words. There are specific strategies that will help you break the cycle starting today. And I want to walk you through them with real clarity. The first strategy is called eating the frog. This concept, popularized by the author and speaker Brian Tracy, is built on a simple insight. If you have to eat a frog, the worst thing you can do is look at it all day. Your most difficult, most important, most dreaded task is your frog. And the moment you wake up, before you check your phone, before you make excuses, before the day has a chance to fill up with distractions, you eat the frog. You do the hard thing first. You tackle the task that your procrastinating mind has been running from. And when you do, something remarkable happens. The rest of your day opens up. The weight lifts. The momentum builds. And you move through the remainder of your hours with the confidence of someone who has already won the hardest battle of the day. The second strategy is time blocking with non-negotiable commitments. Not to-do lists, not soft intentions. Non-negotiable blocks of time assigned to specific tasks, treated with the same seriousness as a flight you cannot miss or a medical appointment you cannot cancel. When you treat your work time as sacred, your brain begins to register it as important. And when your brain registers something as important, it is much harder to justify avoidance. Block the time. Show up for it, every single time. The third strategy is the power of visible accountability. There is a reason why public declarations are more effective than private ones. When you tell someone what you are going to do, the social consequence of not doing it creates a powerful motivational force. Find someone you respect, someone who will not let you off easy, and tell them exactly what you intend to accomplish. Tell them your deadline. Give them permission to hold you to it. The discomfort of disappointing someone who believes in you is often a stronger motivator than the pleasure of achieving your goal. Use that discomfort as fuel. The fourth strategy is breaking the project into the smallest possible first step. One of the main reasons people procrastinate on big goals is that the goal feels overwhelming. The gap between where they are and where they want to be seems uncrossable, and so they stand at the edge of it and do nothing. But no one crosses a gap in one leap. You cross it one step at a time. And the question is never, how do I complete this entire project? The question is, what is the very next smallest action I can take right now? Not the whole chapter, the next paragraph. Not the whole workout, the first 10 minutes. Not the whole business plan, the next phone call. When you reduce the task to its smallest actionable unit, the resistance loses its grip. The fifth strategy is protecting your energy with the same ferocity that you protect your time. Because procrastination is not always about avoidance of the task. Sometimes it is about genuine depletion. When you are tired, hungry, overstimulated, emotionally drained, or physically neglected, your capacity for self-regulation collapses. And self-regulation is exactly what resisting procrastination requires. Sleep is not optional. It is a performance tool. Nutrition is not optional. It is a cognitive resource. Movement is not optional. It is a mental health necessity. When you take care of your body, your mind becomes a sharper, more disciplined instrument. Now I want to speak to something that runs even deeper than strategies and tactics, because the person who truly overcomes procrastination is not just someone who learned better time management techniques. They are someone who had a fundamental shift in identity. They stopped seeing themselves as someone who struggles with procrastination and started seeing themselves as someone who acts with intention. Identity is the foundation of behavior. When you believe at your core that you are a person who follows through, your actions align with that belief. When you believe at your core that you cannot help procrastinating, your actions confirm that belief too. The shift begins in language. Stop saying, "I always procrastinate." Start saying, "I am building the habit of decisive action." Stop saying, "I am not a morning person." Start saying, "I am training myself to use my mornings well." Stop saying, "I cannot focus." Start saying, "I am developing my capacity for focused work." Words shape thoughts. Thoughts shape beliefs. Beliefs shape actions. And actions shape your destiny. There is also something I want to address that many motivational speakers will not say out loud because it sounds uncomfortable. Some of your procrastination is fear dressed up as practicality. You call it research when it is really hesitation. You call it planning when it is really postponement. You call it perfectionism when it is really the terror of being judged and found lacking. You say you are waiting for the right time when the truth is you are afraid that even the right time will not be enough, that even when conditions are perfect, you might still fail. And here is what I want to say to that part of you, the part that is afraid. You are allowed to be afraid. Fear is not the enemy. Paralysis is the enemy. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking the next step, even while fear is screaming at you to stop. Every person you admire who built something great, who created something beautiful, who contributed something meaningful to the world, they felt fear. They felt doubt. They had days when they wanted to quit, to hide, to give up, to start over. The difference between them and the person who stays stuck is not that they were fearless. It is that they moved despite the fear. And you can do that too. You can feel the fear and make the call anyway. You can feel the uncertainty and write the first sentence anyway. You can feel the doubt and show up to the training session anyway. You can feel unprepared and take the first step anyway. Because readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. You decide to be ready. You decide to begin. You decide to continue. Let me talk about time now, because time is the currency that procrastination spends on your behalf without your permission. Every hour you delay is an hour you will never get back. And I want you to understand this, not as a guilt trip, but as a liberation. Because when you truly internalize the irreversibility of time, you stop treating your hours as renewable. You start treating them as the most precious resource you will ever have. You have been given a finite number of days. Nobody knows the exact number, but the number is finite. And within those days, you have been given gifts, abilities, ideas, passions, potential that is uniquely yours and that the world genuinely needs. But the world will never benefit from potential that was never activated. Your gifts are only useful when they are deployed. Your ideas only matter when they are acted upon. Your potential only becomes real when it is converted into effort into output, into results. Every day that you choose procrastination is a day that your gifts sit in storage. Every week that you delay is a week your potential goes unused. Every year that passes in comfort and avoidance is a year subtracted from the time you have to build the life that actually reflects who you are. And here is something that will either inspire you or disturb you, but either way, it needs to be said. The version of you that you are delaying becoming is needed. There are people whose lives will change because of what you build, what you teach, what you create, what you offer. There are problems in the world that your specific mind is equipped to solve. There are stories that only you can tell. There are contributions that only you can make. And every day that you procrastinate is a day those people wait longer. A day those problems go unsolved. A day those contributions remain unmade. Your procrastination is not just costing you, it is costing everyone who was supposed to benefit from what you were put here to produce. Now I want to address a question that might be forming in your mind right now. You might be thinking, I have tried before. I have tried to stop procrastinating. I have made promises to myself. I have set goals. I have read books and watched videos and made plans. And I keep falling back into the same patterns. What makes this time different? And my answer to you is this: nothing external makes this time different. No new system, no new tool, no new video, no new accountability partner can make this time different unless you have made an internal decision that is different in quality from the decisions you have made before. Most people make decisions from a place of hope. They hope things will change. They hope they will feel differently this time. They hope that this new approach will be the one that finally sticks. But hope is not a strategy. Hope is a wish. What you need is not hope. What you need is a decision. A real decision. The kind of decision that closes the door on every alternative. The kind of decision that does not leave a back exit. The kind of decision that says, this is who I am now. When you make that kind of decision, your entire psychology shifts. You stop looking for reasons to delay and start looking for ways to act. You stop wondering if you can and start figuring out how. You stop treating discipline as something you have to manufacture every morning and start experiencing it as an expression of who you have decided to be. This is what it means to be serious-minded about success, not just to want it, not just to dream about it, but to align every choice, every hour, every habit with the reality you are committed to creating. Serious-minded people do not negotiate with procrastination. They do not entertain it. They recognize it the moment it whispers its comfortable lies, and they act anyway. Not because they always feel like it, but because they are committed to becoming the kind of person who does what needs to be done. There will be days when the work feels impossible. There will be mornings when you wake up with no energy and no inspiration. There will be moments when the gap between where you are and where you want to be feels so enormous that any progress seems pointless. And it is precisely in those moments that your character is being built. It is precisely in those moments that the future version of you is being shaped. Every time you push through the resistance, you are adding a brick to the foundation of your future. Every time you choose action over avoidance, you are strengthening the neural pathways of discipline that will make the next right choice slightly easier. The compound effect of consistently choosing action over procrastination does not show up immediately, but it accumulates. Slowly at first, then suddenly. And one day you look back and realize that the life you are living is the direct result of all the moments you decided to act, when everything in you wanted to wait. I want to close with this, because everything I have said today leads to a single point. A simple, undeniable truth that you already know, but may have been running from. You already know what you need to do. You know what task has been sitting on your mental to-do list for weeks or months or years. You know what conversation you have been avoiding. You know what project you keep pushing to next week. You know what version of yourself you keep promising to become starting soon. You already know. The question has never been about knowledge. The question is always about courage. Do you have the courage to begin? Do you have the courage to continue when it gets hard? Do you have the courage to show up even when no one is watching, even when the results are not coming fast enough, even when doubt is louder than determination? That courage is available to you right now, not tomorrow. Right now. In this moment, after this ends, you have a choice. You can go back to what you were doing before. You can feel the temporary warmth of inspiration fade away and return to the comfortable numbness of delay. Or you can do something different. You can take one concrete action, however small, that moves you toward the life you know you are capable of living. Pick up your phone and make that call. Open the document and write the first line. Send the email you have been drafting in your head. Register for the course. Set the alarm. Have the conversation. Take the step. Because here is the final truth. Nobody is coming to save you from yourself. No one is going to carry your potential into reality for you. No one is going to live your best life on your behalf. The responsibility is yours, fully and completely. And that is not a burden. That is a gift. Because it means you have the power. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to change the trajectory of everything. Be serious. Resist every urge to procrastinate. Start now. Your future is waiting. Thank you for coming around. I hope this will energize you towards the future you have been dreaming of. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. See you later, and bye.